Hello, my name is Karolina Gładych and I would like to talk to you about findings of our research on best practices in coaching. In case you are wondering what coaching is, in the context of our project, coaching is a process in which one individual, the coach, assists the other person or a group of people in unlocking more of their potential, in finding their own answers to their questions, in finding their own solutions, and setting their own goals and their own way forward. I personally like a bit metaphorical definition of coaching, so let me quickly share it with you. Imagine that you are driving a car and you are in your own town. You know the town very well actually, and you know where you want to get. But your front window is totally covered with mud, so actually you can't see anything. So, for instance, you can open your door and see some people, ask them about advice, what to do, and you know, some of them can give you good advice, and if you follow it, it will get you a little bit forward. But some of them might give you advice that is not really relevant to you, because perhaps they don't know your town very well, or they don't know about your destination. But imagine that somebody comes and actually they help you to clean your window, you know, so there is less and less mud and suddenly you can see clearly. And as you can see clearly, you just know where to go and you know where you are, you know where you want to get to, so you navigate the best you can. Yes, and you can find out much more about what coaching is and what benefits it can offer in our website, so please go and check a document called Best Practices in Coaching Guide. So in our research we try to find out what is the essence of coaching, what makes it so powerful. And we've done literature research as well as partners from 4 countries. It was Poland, Sweden, Spain and Cyprus. Conducted focus groups with 5 coaches in each country, as well as one-to-one interviews with 10 different coaches, which means that we talked to 60 coaches from different countries, which was really inspiring and very insightful. And we also had international Skype call in which coaches from different countries connected to share their experiences. So, in this movie we would like to share with you some reflections of the coaches as well as reflections of the focus group facilitators, and then I will come back to you and share with you the key findings. Enjoy!
Sylvia, which coaching skills would you say would be most useful for educators and teachers? Which coaching skills would be most useful for them?
Okay, well I think the first thing I'd like to say on that is that educators and teachers are in a very strong position to provide coaching services for their students, whether those students are involved with that, whether they're adult students or whether they're younger students. I think it's irrelevant. And the big thing that I would see for educators is that they develop the ability to build rapport with the people that they would like to coach. And by that I mean that they could learn how to be relaxed with the person first of all, and just be able to have a kind of a good open relationship with the person, encouraging the person to talk initially and imagining that they're building a safe space around them so that the person feels comfortable with them and can talk easily. And then for the educator to just be able to sit with the person and be relaxed themselves and to listen to what's been said. And then following on from that, then probably they would need some training in the kind of questions that they ask, because the coaching process is very much about asking the right questions. And in order for this to happen, conversation needs to flow easily. So that's the first thing. And then building on from that, then the type of questions, asking questions that encourage the person to explore whatever they perceive their issues to be a little further. And with this, of course, then is the ability to listen.
So
yeah,
that's what they.
So I think those would be the main things for educators to develop.
Okay. The question was how to inspire your clients in coaching. Creativity is very important in coaching work. Coach should be a very creative person. The first of all is relation between client and coach. It's very important in the education, because coach is a teacher and the client is a student, sometimes adult student, but the teacher and students are not usually are not the equal relation. But in coaching, it's very important that it should be equal relation between these two persons. The second very important thing in coaching is listening. Listening, not only the words, not only the phrases, but you should listen your client, whole client. You should listen how she or he speak, in body language. I call that like a melody of words. Not some words are very important, but how your client speaks. He has or she has a power or not. He has or she more energy or without energy. How she or he is speaking. It's very important to listen to that, and you should listen the words very often repeated. It's the listening and equal relation between coach and client is very important. Okay, very important is establish goals and questions, but listening and relation is the most important in coaching.
I think it's very important to have knowledge about coaching, and it could help you very much as a teacher. It's much better for the learner, I think, if you're able to listen to them closely and not always trying to find your own solution. As a coach, you listen closely and you perhaps try to help them find their inner solution to their own problem or find their inner goals, instead of you telling them what to do. So I think it's a better way, much better for the learner. And I think in that way they are also able to find their own motivation in a profounder way than if you tell them what to do. I think the most important skills as a coach is to develop a good sense of listening without interrupting, And I think it's very important for you also to have knowledge about questioning techniques, so you can be able to perhaps help them express their goals. And you have to be able to create a trustful atmosphere so they feel confident in talking to you. And you have to also be able to put the learner in the first position and not in the second. You listen to them. And I think that is not always the most common. Also, you have to be able to encourage them and support them in a good way. And in that case, you help them to be more motivated with the education or what they want to do. That's more or less what I have to say about coaching for this moment.
Fernández y Catalina Fuster, el equipo fundador de Espacio Coaching Más, que es una empresa destinada a ofrecer soluciones y programas basados en el coaching. Queremos compartir algunas reflexiones sobre el coaching como metodología eficaz y efectiva, y especialmente en cómo puede ser una herramienta altamente importante en la formación de personas adultas. Eugenia, vamos a comentar qué hace que el coaching sea efectivo.
Pues Catalina, lo que hace que el coaching sea efectivo, que funcione, es porque el coaching, que es a quien llamamos nosotros cliente, que puede ser una persona individual, puede ser una empresa, una asociación, o como es este caso, un formador o un alumno, pues se replantea muchas cosas y situaciones pues en torno a su persona, a su entorno, realidad, que sea capaz de saber qué quiere, cómo lo quiere y con quién lo quiere, y de elegir el modelo de vida más adecuado para conseguir sus objetivos.
Y dinos, Eugenia, ¿cuáles son los beneficios específicos para el coaching?
Bueno, los beneficios, aparte de los que acabamos de decir o acabo de decir, es que desarrolla y potencia sus capacidades, sus fortalezas, provoca además la toma de decisiones conscientemente, con conocimiento, con argumentos, alineados con sus valores, aumenta la confianza en sí mismos y bueno, entre otros beneficios, claro. Y por ejemplo, en este caso, Catalina, en el marco formativo, ¿qué nos dirías? ¿Qué habilidades y cualidades del coaching serían útiles para profesores y formadores?
Pues especialmente todas las que tienen que ver con la mejora de la comunicación, hacer que la comunicación sea verdaderamente efectiva, potenciar la escucha activa, por ejemplo, y también la capacidad de saber manejar mejor y de gestionar las emociones, tanto las que son interpersonales como las intrapersonales.
Y en este contexto que estamos hablando de la educación de adultos, Catalina, ¿en qué tipo de actividades educativas encajaría entonces el coaching?
El coaching encajaría en actividades tanto individuales como de grupo, y si tenemos en cuenta la formación de adultos, que somos personas que ya tenemos un aprendizaje realizado, que hemos adquirido y formado un mapa mental a través de los años y a través de la experiencia, pues en ese sentido se pueden dar algunas dificultades de aprendizaje que con el coaching se pueden manejar de una forma mucho más efectiva.
Muchas gracias. Bueno, si queréis seguirnos podéis hacerlo en la página web www.espaciocoachingmas.es y en las redes sociales.
Gracias.
Gracias.
One of the most powerful impressions the local focus group meeting and the interviews with coaches left me with is the importance of creating, when it comes to coaching, of creating the relation between the coach and the coachee. During the coaching session, creating this atmosphere, this safe, non-judgmental environment for the coachee, and the space, not between, the space around them, the space around the coach and the coachee. One of the coaches used the word bubble, that inside of this bubble, when there is a strong relation between them, the most wonderful things can happen. And what was also emphasized, and that was mentioned by, I believe, all of the trainers, all of the coaches we spoke with. And another thing that was emphasized was the art of listening. Active listening was mentioned many times as one of the most important factors during coaching. And when it comes to the educational setting, all coaches agreed that coaching skills, tools and techniques will be very useful for the educators, but only the understanding of the essence of coaching will be of tremendous importance, because we found out when talking to educators and through the questionnaires that very few of them really understand what coaching is and what is the difference between coaching and other interventions. So only the understanding of coaching, realizing that learners they already have their resources and the inner wisdom, as we say, and that the job of the educator will be help them, guide them, and make the learners discover for themselves what they are, what they can do, what are their strengths and abilities. This will make a huge difference.
Hello, I am Kamila Lasocińska. I was conducting the interview with coaches in the group of a focus group, and now I would like to present the conclusions from this meeting. And from this meeting I recognized that the best method in coaching is when the client can change their own perspective, can look at the situation, at the problem from different point of view, can see the problem from the perspective of the other person, from the perspective of the future, or from different perspectives. So a good coach should provoke the client to that idea, and the good coach is a person who is open-minded, is not judging client, is not forcing own ideas, and also is an authentic person and a strong, well-organized coach. And the teacher of adult people can have similar abilities as a coach, and can create a space for self-development of own learners, and also can be an authentic person, and also provoking the students, learners, to changing the point of view, changing the perspective of observing problems and different life situations.
Well, first the discussion started about what coaching means to us. And we can see a clear difference between the teacher's opinion about coaching and the coach's opinion about coaching. There is a difference between trained coaches and those that haven't received any training in coaching. You can see coaching in more or less two ways. Either as a method, which you can learn quite rapidly, but you can also see coaching as a way of relating to other people. So if you agree on the prospect that people have their own will, their own mind, and they're also experts on themselves, which means that people or our participants, they are the experts of themselves. They also have the solution to the problem somewhere within themselves. But sometimes it's hard for them to get it out. They need help. And that's where the coach come in, to help them find their own solutions. And this is also important regarding who would be responsible for the solutions and for the actions connected with solving the problem. Could be education, could be work, could be any situation in life. And there was also this discussion about important skills, the skills that the coach should have. And what came up during this focus session was that the coach should be motivated, should be supportive and available. And availability could be hard, of course, to achieve depending on what you mean by availability. But one of the more important things is for the coach to be a good listener, or as we say, an active listener. And by that we mean that the coach should be in the situation while having coaching sessions, to be really focused on the participant. The coach should also have good communication skills. And communication in coaching means pretty straightforward communication. The coach, of course, should answer questions, but in a very honest way. There's no need for the coach to try to hide things or try to soften things up. It's really important that the participant gets real and straight answers to any questions they might have.
Most of the interviewed coaches consider that educators will become more effective if they learn basic coaching skills. The use of coaching techniques in a classroom gives tools that can facilitate the assimilation of knowledge, the empathy, respect, conflict resolution, and responsibility in the learning process. The development of emotional competencies helps to reach the learning objectives both for trainers and the students. Coaches said that the coaching skills that would be useful for educators and teachers are active listening, the art of asking powerful questions as a fundamental teaching method, the approach of equal relationship between the teacher and the student, development of empathy, identification of beliefs, barriers and limitations of students, and also how to improve their relationship with them. These skills can be used in different learning contexts and can be switched to particular teaching activities. In individual sessions, to overcome the difficulties of students at the individual level, or even to articulate their desires and motivations. In small groups, to carry out a project more efficiently, and in the classroom with the entire group to share the responsibility of learning process with the students.
I hope you enjoyed the clips. So, there are plenty of approaches to coaching, different methods and techniques. However, some features of coaching seem to be universal across different approaches. And I would like to tell you now about the best practices in coaching that we identified to be essential and universal. The coach needs to perceive the coachee as a resourceful individual. The role of the coach is to assist the coachee in unlocking his potential. The coach does not give advices or offer solutions, but assists the coachee in gaining more clarity and expanding her perspective so she can find her own answers and solutions. The main factor that allows for effective coaching is the authentic and non-judgmental connection between the coach and the coachee. The relationship is based on trust and respect, so the coachee feels safe to explore different issues in a very honest way. There are ample coaching tools and techniques. However, the most vital and powerful are building rapport, listening on a deep level, and asking open questions. Coaching is focused on the present moment and the future, as well as on desired results, rather than on past and problems. Important feature of coaching is to facilitate setting clear targets and planning the way forward with specific action steps. The coaches also discussed what particular coaching skills would be the most beneficial for educators, and the emphasis was put on communication skills, especially deep listening, asking open questions, and giving constructive feedback. Then building rapport and supportive and friendly learning environment, goal setting and action plan building, mindfulness, as well as understanding the fundamental philosophy of coaching. So, we are really excited about going ahead with designing the courses in basic coaching skills for educators, because we are truly convinced that these skills will make positive and big difference in education and make the learning as well as teaching process more effective, more inspired, more creative, and much more fun as well. So, if you would like to enhance your coaching skills, stay tuned, check regularly our website, sign up for a newsletter, and if you are in one of the countries of the partnership, maybe you can attend our pilot courses. And next year we are going to have lots of free educational resources on the website. Thank you for watching.